Day 26. I'm reading Whither Come Home by Marianne Wolf, page 103. There may be as many reasons why we read as there are readers, but the very raising to consciousness of question why we read had elicited some of the most thought-provoking responses by some of the world's most beloved writers. I would ask you to raise it for yourself before more time passes. After I refound my former reading self, the answer that came to me is this: I read both to find fresh reason to love this world and also to leave this world behind, to enter a space where I can glimpse what lies beyond my imagination, outside my knowledge and my experience of life, and sometimes, like the poet Federico Garcia Lorca, where I can go very far to give me back my ancient soul of a child. This harkens to something else that Hesse wrote in a little-known essay called "The Magic of the Book." Among the many worlds which man did not receive as a gift of nature, but which he created with his own spirit, the world of books is the greatest. Every child, scrawling his first letters on his slate and attempting to read for the first time, in so doing enters an artificial and most complicated world. To know the laws and rules of this world completely and to practice them perfectly, no single human life is long enough. Without words, without writing, and without books, there would be no history. There could be no concept of humanity. Hesse has many worlds, and Lorca's dream of recovering the ancient soul of a child are the best ways I have of introducing you to the next letter about the children who come after us and the unique legacy of the reading life we hope to give them and their children and their children's children. Sincerely yours, your author. So far it was letter 4, so I'm moving to letter 5. The raising of children in a digital age. That must be a very interesting letter. So one quote by Pope Francis: "Children are a sign. They are a sign of hope, a sign of life, but also a diagnostic sign, a marker indicating the health of family, society, and the entire world. Wherever children are accepted, loved, cared for, and protected, the family is healthy, society is more healthy, and the world is more human." Another quote by Patricia Greenfield: "Every medium has its strengths and weaknesses. Every medium develops some cognitive skills at the expense of others. Although the internet may develop impressive visual intelligence, the cost seems to be deep processing, mindful knowledge acquisition, inductive analysis, critical thinking, imagination, and reflection." Dear reader, once when my child were young, they asked me to tell them one more time what I do when I go to work. We had just returned from a visit to one set of their grandparents who lived in the heart of the Midwest. There the children saw fields of corn and beans and herd of cattle and horses that captured their city-bred imaginations. Spontaneously, I found myself saying, "I am a farmer of children." They laughed and found that a very fine answer, much better than a teacher or a researcher of the reading brain. I liked that answer too, and I found myself storing it away as my private way of looking at what I do with my life. I recall it now because that is what this letter is all about. How we raise children. Children who are the inheritors of the 20th century and the progenitors of the 21st. They are mine own and not mine own. As Shakespeare described one of the many forms of love in A Midsummer Night's Dream, they are our own and not our own. Further, they are on the verge of becoming more different from us. Their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents than at any time since the last other great transitions in modes of communication. The time between Socrates' oral culture and Aristotle's written, and the period following Gutenberg. So they kind of compare the transition from the oral culture to the written culture, and the written culture to the internet or digital culture. Okay. There will always be either a chasm or just a little gully of differences between parents and their children across every epoch. I am less interested in the degree of differences between our digitally raised children and ourselves than in an understanding of what is best for children's development regardless of milieu, and in particular within this exponentially changing milieu. There is no going back, and with some historical digressions aside, there almost never has been. That accepted reality, however, must not deter anyone from informal, compassionate, critical analysis of who we have been, who we are, and the changes that are quietly shaping our children every day. Okay, one more paragraph. The changes are many and various. The tough questions raised in the previous letters come to roost like chickens on a fence in the raising of our children. They require of us a developmental version of the issues summarized to this point. Will the time-consuming, cognitively demanding, deep-reading process atrophy or be gradually lost within a culture whose principal mediums advantage speed, immediacy, high levels of stimulation, multitasking, and large amount of information? Okay, I should stop here. This was Minky. Please correct me if you can. Thank you.